Today, we got a perfect lesson in how Washington works. Nothing ties politicians into knots like saying they can't trade stocks. President Trump was asked today about a congressional bill that would ban members of Congress from trading stocks. And while he said he hadn't read the bill, he said he would be all for it if it hit the worst offenders in Congress.
I don't know about it, but I like it conceptually. And, you know, Nancy Pelosi became rich by having inside information. She made a fortune with her husband, and I think that's disgraceful. So in that sense, I'd like it.
Less than an hour later, the poster child for insider trading herself, or insider trading allegations, I should say, endorsed the ban. I welcome any serious effort to raise ethical standards. Sorry, she actually wrote this. In public service, the Honest Act, as amended, rightly applies its stock trading ban not only to members of Congress, but now to the president and vice president as well. I strongly support this legislation. Of course, she's all for it now that she could be heading out of Congress's doors soon, having raked in tens of millions of dollars. But as soon as Pelosi endorsed it, Trump turned on Republican Senator and bill author Josh Hawley for pushing the bill through alongside Democrats. I wonder why Hawley would pass a bill that Nancy Pelosi is in absolute love with. I don't think Republicans want to see their president, who has had unprecedented success, targeted because of the whims of a second-tier senator named Josh Hawley. Over in the House, Republican Congresswoman Paulina Luna is looking to force a similar stock trading ban vote by September. It is good to see you. You have been dogged in pursuing this. 80% of Americans want it. We haven't gotten it yet. Thank you for championing those of us who do want it. Did Dems checkmate you guys a little bit by including Trump and Vance in this?
Not really, because the Senate bill is different than the bill that I'm looking to bring forward on a discharge petition. So for those of you who might not follow the legislative process and how it works, we have to bring a House version, and then once it passes out of the House, it can then go to the Senate, and then once it passes the Senate, it goes to the president's desk. And so the bill that I'm bringing up, I'm going to have to do on a discharge petition, because up until really about a couple weeks ago, when I made the public announcement with Representative Burchett that we were going to be bringing this vote up, Republican leadership did not want to or did not put anything on the floor that we could vote on. So our version that we're addressing would prohibit members of Congress and their family from trading stock, and then it would also have a divestment period of 180 days, and then there would be
Makes perfect sense. No argument. But here's the question, though. Hawley's got a bunch of Democrats in the Senate signed on to this, and Nancy Pelosi endorses his version of it that includes Democrats. What's wrong with that?
I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with doing bipartisan, but I think to the president's point, I haven't looked at Hawley's bill itself, but if there's nothing that would cause there to, I haven't looked at it, no, because it's a Senate version and we haven't voted on it. But what I will tell you is that if there's a clause that would prohibit potentially there being ramifications for insider trading, that's probably why the president's addressing that. But again, I haven't read it. I'm just going off of assumption there. But what I will tell you is it's not just on the Democrat side, it's on the Republican side as well. There have been people that have made millions of dollars, were given access to information, whether it's dealing with these financial institutions or legislation impacting those institutions. So it's not just causing a deep distrust
there's multiple members of Congress who make Warren Buffett look bad. Or look like a rookie.
Unfortunately,
and that's what's stunning is that there's also Republican members against it. Take a listen.
I don't know when in this country it became a negative to make money. But somehow, if you've made money, you're supposedly, I think Senator Hawley suggests, you shouldn't be serving. You might trade stocks.
We make it very unattractive for people to step up to the plate. This piece of legislation, really, it's legislative demagoguery.
If this is a great bill, if this is the greatest thing since sliced bread and it's really necessary, it should apply to Donald Trump.
So, again, you're going to get more Democratic support if it applies to President Trump and members of the executive branch. Why wouldn't you do that to get as much support as you could and give the American people what they want?
Well, I think it depends on the legislation that you're talking about. So I think that there's actually going to be a lot of Democrats that will likely support Representative Burchett's bill that I'll be calling up on discharge. But from what it looks like based on the conversation, I don't know if Senator Hawley's bill covers blind trusts. Ours still allows members to have their stock portfolios in blind trusts. But again, they can't be doing those direct transactions and trades. And so, again, going on assumption, it seems that Senator Hawley's bill might not necessarily cover that.
Okay, fair enough. Congresswoman, I have to say, I really admire what you're doing because you're one of the few people who's talking about it and has been willing to stand up to leadership for it. Amazing. 80% of Americans want this, and it is really hard to get done.
Yeah, that seems to be the case when it's happening on both sides.
Yeah, term limits too. Tackle that next. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.